ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next part of Total War Wednesdays. Always I am D, and we're moving on from the Total War because we finished it. Warzog, Grimgor, Azog, all the goblins that I probably got killed. They did it. They won. They destroyed the old world. Well, not really. Did get to kick the shit out of Archaon twice, which was fun. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on. Now, like I said, I'm starting this time, this campaign is going to be played as Norsca. And you have two choices. You have Norsca itself, where your only legendary lord is this Joker right here, Wulfric the Wanderer. I thought about playing as Wulfric because he's an interesting fellow. That sword he uses is taken from a fellow, actually a former Norscan legend, and as are most of those skulls, the ribcage on his back. Wulfric is called the Wanderer because he is blessed, or cursed, depending on how you look at it, by the Chaos Gods. He has to wander the old world eternally, looking for worthy fights, that he can then fight them and sacrifice them to the four gods of chaos. Wulfric, now, he usually does this by finding a champion that he considers to be worthy, or is told is worthy by the gods, and dueling them. And you might be thinking, well, if he's been doing this for several hundred years, and he has, then people would just, turn down the challenge, right? They can't. Wulfric's greatest strength is what is known as the blessing, or is the gift of tongues. Basically, he can speak every single language in the old world. Doesn't sound like much, right? Well, there's a second part to the blessing, to the gift of tongues, and he uses it well. Namely, what he does is he uses the gift of tongues to insult somebody into fighting him. For example, one of the ones you'll see on a loading screen sometimes from Wulfric is he challenges a dwarven fighter, I think it's actually a slayer, to a fight by insulting him and saying, maybe you're not a dwarf after all, maybe you're some kind of small bearded goblin. Which is a big deal to the dwarves, because the dwarves bloody hate goblins. They hate all greenskins, but they really hate goblins. The dwarf fought him, and Wulfric won. But I decided, because I've got a fun little playthrough of my own that I'm doing with Wulfric, so what we're going to do is we're going to play as the other Norscan faction, namely Wintertooth. Now, Wintertooth, you only have one choice. Namely, this lovely gentleman right here, Throgg the Troll King. Greatest of the Norscan trolls. I went over his abilities last time, but we're going to go and get started. Just so we can go ahead and get going. I've never actually played as Throgg. Well, actually I did once, but I screwed it up.
Those in the north are closest to the gods. Their lands lie within the ebbing shadow of chaos. For in the land of monsters and ice, where no crops grow, they have to be. Thus, I have come to guide their raw talent. Why waste such savagery on each other, while the southern lands are ripe for ravaging?
That would be a giant. And that would be the sword of Torgald, Wulfric's sword. But we're not playing as Wulfric the Wanderer, we're playing as Throgg the Troll King, so... yeah, Wulfric... you can get mammoths in this, yes. You can also get that, you can get the dragons. Skin wolves, Norscan hounds, Norscan ice hounds.
King Throgg is recruiting an army such as the world has never known. The Troll King has traveled north to Winterpire in search of warriors, be they troll, man, or monster, eager to spread terror and revel in slaughter, to bring war in the name of the Dark Gods. But in his absence, the Southerners have discovered his lair within Troll Country, and now he is marshalling his forces to retake it. When he has wrested back control of his icy halls, the world will know his full wrath, as the King of the Trolls and his monstrous army destroy all in their path.
That probably would have been a little bit more dramatic if I'd actually managed to, you know, time it so that the loading bar filled up while I was doing it and ended just as I finished. But hey. This one's going to be a fun, bit of a clown series. It's not going to be near as clowny as the Orc series because I turned off the mod. So I'm going to be playing this one 100% straight honest. I mean, I'm going to be doing my damnedest to really screw over everybody I can because it's the Dark Gods. Also, one thing about Norsca, which I'll talk about once we actually load in, I might actually have any members of the audience that want weigh in on one of the final things I have to do. One of the big mechanics. Come on. Load a little bit faster, just a little bit more. Come on.
Hail, Throgg, King of Trolls. You venture far from your natural lair. These lands are rich with meat and war. Feast upon them, grow in strength and number, to bring ruin beyond.
Sounds like fun.
To the east, the icy mountains harbor the dwarfs of Krakadrag. They mine great treasures for themselves. But all of this can be yours for the taking, or for the gods. To the south, Kislev. These men of the Bear dare to rule your kingdom. Let them feel the power of the monstrous horde. Destroy Erengrad and reclaim your rightful throne in Troll Country.
Sounds like a
Beyond
good time.
Kislev lies the Empire. Its bickering states of power are ripe with treasures. Take from these soft southern lands and establish new ports on their shores from which you can raid further. Across the Sea of Claws, a would-be challenger lies in wait aboard his precious ship. Devour him and do as you wish with his marauding.
What he's talking about there is Wolfric has a special ability called the Sea Fang.
You are the Wintertooth, cunning and all-powerful. Let the realms of man suffer in horror and pain, as your monstrous horde lays waste to all.
Alrighty, sounds like fun.
The harsh and desolate wastes of Norsca embrace you into its cold and wintry grip, my lord. Yet it cannot sustain
That right there is
appetite for war indefinitely. You
quiet. This is actually what I was talking about. The major mechanic, or one of the major mechanics of the Norscan tribes, are the 4 gods. Yeah, you do have to raid as well. The other big thing is the hunting, but I can't do that yet. I have to research it first. But anyway, you have the 4 gods. You have the snake, which basically represents Slanesh, the crow for Nurgle, the hound for Khorne, and the eagle for Tzeentch. Now, each of the 4 gods, as you level up with one of the gods, you'll level down with the others. In my personal playthrough, I've actually gotten Wulfric locked in as the champion of the eagle, because I wanted to get Osric, the Maze Keeper. That's good. Yeah, I got enough of that.
Disorder!
I don't have enough for any regents or down yet, but let's go ahead and start researching. Now you have war tools, which is just basic upgrades, sea marauders, which is just again upgrades for. Then you have these. You have secrets of various places. These are basically upgrades that you get for taking over certain places. For example, if I occupy Black Crag or Karak Draz, I can get the secrets of Gork and Mork. I get the secrets of Necromancy if I occupy Drakenhof. So I had to go and take over certain places. Then there's Monster Hunter, which unlocks, of course, monster hunts, but it also gives experience to Warhounds and Ice Wolves. It does lead on to others, but eventually you can unlock stronger, more dangerous hunts by going one with Beasts and then Master of Beasts. The hunts are how you do legendary items for these characters, or at least it is for Wulfric. Here, Throgg only has the Wintertooth crown, but he can also get other things, of course. But instead of that, so that's how you doing the Monstrous Arcanum. Doing the hunts is how you build up, how you get more items, more legendary items. Anyway, we've done what we can, so let's go ahead and end the turn there. Oh, right. Quiet. I'm actually not going to research Monster Hunter just yet, because I'm nowhere near strong enough to take on even a level 1 hunt. Even the level 1s are insanely dangerous. But yeah, like I was saying, what I'd like to see is if anybody watching this wants to weigh in, tell me which god you think I should go for. Between the serpent, the crow, the hound, or the eagle. Personally, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of leaning towards going with the crow, because I really want to see what this plague, the devastating plague across the world does. The Nagel Farling.
Time is feeding time. I'll get there. Wintertooth.
I don't see why I would ever. Varg and Kislev have gone to war, and the Goramandi have gone to war with the Red Eye. Now, you do have some, of course, the ability to recruit. You only really get Marauder Chieftains, unless you become the champion of the Eagle, in which case you also get Osric the Maze Keeper. Osric is basically he's a high-level mage. Or he will be eventually if you get him and go up that far. What are the 3 areas of the Mountains of Hell? The Altar of Spawns, Aisling's Conclave, and my home of Winterpire. Also, get used to hearing them scream out Norsca a lot. This episode's going to be a little bit different because I forgot, well, for one thing, I forgot to start my timer. But also because it would have been a little bit longer to start with because of that intro. Also, if you're wondering why I didn't give a little intro to, why I didn't really give an intro to Throgg, it's because honestly, Throgg doesn't have much of a backstory. He's the Troll King. That's basically it, really. He's the Lord of the Trolls. Alright, I'm gonna head up to the altar of spawns, try and take it from the Nagelfarlings. I can get Blade Worker's Hammer, so I can get some upgrades rolling. Also, these are going to be very important, are the ports. So I take this off. I'm still gaining plenty of money for now. Like I said, get ready for a lot of people shouting out the word Norsca. Also, I don't see why this is the Gulf of Kislev. Kislev is way to the south. Ooh, carved obsidian. That should get me some money. Good. I can't actually upgrade Winter Pirate yet. Or, yeah, Winter Pirate yet, because I need 2 population. I've only got 1. Also, we just speed up the AI movement during that. Or actually just the movement.
It's feeding time. Taste my vomit.
Yes, he did just say taste my vomit. Because one of Throgg's abilities, like I told you guys last time, is copious vomit. He can literally barf on command, basically. Alright, the Battle of Altar of Spawns. Wintertooth, led by Throgg, versus Volgar Ovison of the Nagelfarlings. If you're wondering what the Nagelfar is, in Norse mythology, it is a ship made from the nails of the dead. And when I say nails, I mean finger and toenails. That's why one of the Norse burial customs was to clip down and basically file down and get rid of any excess fingernail and toenail that you had, because it was thought that if those were left, then those would go to Helheim, where they would be made into a ship. Not making this up. Literally not making this up. But anyway, during the Ragnarok, the great battle at the end of the world, as the Jormungandr, the world serpent, thrashes his tail and causes the river Ocean, again, not making that up, to overflow its banks and flood, it allows the Naglfar, the great ship, to leave Helheim and head for the great battlefield. At the helm will actually be Loki. Alright, let's see. Copious vomit. Yes, the flavor text is all about vomit sounds. Weak versus multiple combatants. Strong versus single. Luckily, because it's Throgg, trolls are actually stronger under him. Which, if you think about it, is kind of terrifying, because trolls are actually pretty strong to begin with. Norscan Warhounds and Norscan Ice Wolves. The Ice Wolves are basically Warhounds, but scaled up. You are mortal. Do they have any throwers? They do. They have Marauder Hunters. It says close quarters infantry. That basically means they have ranged attack, but they're also decent melee combatants. Cannot use it flying, cannot target if... Or cannot use it climbing, cannot target if flying. Luckily, Throgg cannot climb. He's a giant troll. Okay, it's a targeted... Let's just open up with Barf. Luckily, trolls are actually very strong. I mean, come on, Throgg is taking on an army of marauders on his own, and they are losing decisively already. Unfortunately, my humans are still taking too damn long to get here. Alright, that unit is actually basically already done. My ice trolls, not doing so hot. Barf on him. Alright, I'm gonna have my ice wolves peel off real quick. Actually, you know what? Alright, the ice wolves should be able to catch up to the hunters and hit them. There we go, from behind. Let's go ahead and end that there. And this is actually on normal difficulty as well, rather than on easy. I lost 15, they lost 210. Granted, 74 of those were on Throgg. He'll be leveling up pretty quick at this rate. Yeah, I'm sorry, Reichsmarschall Trenkenhoff. Telling somebody that if you hear publicly that they doubt themselves, you threaten to kill them, they're probably going to doubt themselves. Just saying. Also, hopefully the quality for this recording is up a little bit from the last one, and I don't need to do quite as much creative editing. Because I realized recently that I actually have 4 programs I can record in that I've set up. I've got what I used to do, or what I do for like streaming and most of my series, or 2 of my series currently, is I use XSplit. I've also got NVIDIA Shadowplay, which is unreliable, to say the least, because of some of the stupider decisions they have about it. What I used to record this series in is Fraps, but some interaction recently, or I don't know what, but basically Fraps does not work with this right now. Fraps just doesn't work right now, actually. And then I remembered that a buddy of mine, you've seen him on this channel a couple of times, like literally twice, with back when I played Warframe for this channel. And it's my buddy Eve. He uses, when he said he's going to try and start streaming eventually, but he's going to use OBS, Open Broadcaster. I realized OBS actually has a recording function, and that's what I'm using right now. Now, this is where you have a choice.
Is yours to do with as you please.
I'm not going to sacrifice this to a god,
And build from.
because if I wanted to, I could raise this for the hound, the crow, the eagle, or the serpent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna occupy the altar of spawns. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade the altar of spawns from a warband camp, or from a warrior gathering to a warband camp. Eventually, we'll get a couple of clan enclaves. Whoops. Did not know that key did that, but now the only thing left for the Nagelfarlings is Aisling's conclave.
Whichever woeful deity protects you, it ends here.
Let's go ahead and upgrade Throgg before we end this turn. I'm looking forward to getting mutant regeneration. But we're going to get Route Marcher because that is a very useful skill to have. Actually, hold on. Voice of the Dark Gods. Use Aura Size, and then Icy Wrath. Okay, then this is all about... Oh, the Fimir. The Fimir are an interesting unit. They're some kind of, like, fish person? I don't know. I really don't know the lore behind the Fimir. Let's also go ahead and start... Actually, no, not yet. Not going to recruit a Lord New army just yet, because I need to build up some capital first. Well, bugger me. Lamont Dahl. Is he actually the leader of the Nagelfarlings?
Relations with foreign powers.
Shut it. Yeah, Dahl is actually the lord of the Nagelfarlings. Problem is,
Norsca.
he's actually at 14, 20, I'm actually at 13. Alright, let's go ahead and get those. He's probably going to attack Winterpire at some point soon, but I'm going to send back Throgg with an extra unit on him of Berserkers. The Berserkers are an interesting unit in this game, because their entire thing is no defense, just raw, unfettered aggression. How the hell does he already have a Frostworm? Frostworms are one of the higher tier units in Norsca. I'm probably going to lose this fight just because of that, but... I mean, I get it, he is the lord of the Nagelfarlings, but come on, really? Okay, this is going to be a tough one. I can already see the Frostworm.
My gods call! They will succumb! My gods call! Your will!
The problem I'm going to have here is I only got one unit that can actually fight can actually, you know, I've only got one unit that can actually strike at the frost worm.
Now is our time. Our drive is mighty.
Yeah, it's moving just incredibly slowly. Excuse me. The vast majority of my army is going straight at Dahl. And now we're just going to turn around and attack the dragon. I'm going to kill that bloody frost worm if it...
That's what the masters did. Shut them.
Like I said, it's a little unfair that they get to start with a frost worm.
Yes. Retrieve. My God, go.
Well, unfortunately, you're about to go see them. That is not a decisive defeat. You have a fucking frost worm. The fact that I killed any of them is kind of awesome. Alright. I actually did save most of my troops. Granted, that's not much comfort considering I still lost, and I'm probably gonna lose Winterpire. This might be a short series. If this one does go short, I'll swap over and play as Wolfric instead. Or if I go, or depending on when Warhammer 2 drops, I might just switch straight over to that. Question is, okay, they took over Winterpire. They didn't actually, he didn't raise it for one of the gods. That's good news at least. Small mercies. Alright. I'm actually going to continue recruiting. Unfortunately, I don't have anywhere to recruit. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the turn here. So we can get the... I'll set up for what I'm gonna do next. But once this turn is... Alright, let's go ahead and get it. Alright, but that is this episode done, folks. If you enjoyed, please like or favorite the video. You can also leave a comment down below if you have something you'd like to say. And get ready for the coming of Warhammer 2, because I am really looking forward to that. And like I said, I'm probably going to go straight to playing a Skaven campaign. That will still be put in this same playlist, even though it's technically a different game, but who cares? I mean, come on, this is my channel. I make shit up as I go along half the time. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed. I have been D. The Troll King is on the march. Hopefully he doesn't stop too soon. Good night, and good gaming.